The following program is rated MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
The show that gives you everything and nothing at all. That's everywhere you don't want to be. It's Ruben, Mo B, and on the ones and twos, AG.
The 5-minute warning.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of 5-Minute Warning. Of course, it's your man, Ruben, in the house. And yes, it sounds like some of our voice decided to come back home. The rest of it's still on vacation. But, we'll get it done anyway. And, of course, always is my man AG in the house. What's going on, brother?
What's happening, y'all? How you doing?
All right, and popping right in at the last minute is Mo B.
Hey, I'm always on time. Always on time.
Just like that Ja Rule and Ashanti, right?
No. I'm a much better song than that, but I'm always on time.
Yeah, you know what? The funny thing is, I was thinking about a song from that era that is completely my favorite song from that era, and that is Like Whoa. Whatever happened to Maya? What happened to her?
Fine.
Huh?
She's still fine and ain't making no music.
I understand that, but did she just quit the business for reasons unbeknownst to us?
I don't know. I mean, I know she did a little acting work because I know I saw her in an episode of NCIS one time, and
okay,
so I guess she was doing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
but
anyway, that's my favorite
fine.
song, man. Anytime that song come on my playlist, I'm like, what? So
I mean, she's still fine. God bless America.
We have established that you think she is still fine.
I mean, am I the only one here who thinks that? I just want to make sure.
She's beautiful, no doubt.
Attractive female, and the last time I saw her, she was out in these streets looking real thick too. Like she had graduated from that 1998 Maya. She was adult now. Like she was.
Oh yeah. She found herself a booty. Not saying she really had one back in the day.
She had that to start with, but
I'm about to say no. She just reached grown woman status. Like she went from like getting served teenager style to like, oh no, that's an adult right there. That's
Yo, man, I got a story. Got another story. Gotta tell my story.
Sure, go for it.
Is it a story or is it like another hypothetical question that's gonna get us down the rabbit hole of pegging? Because we still talking about pegging apparently.
Hey man, I can do both, but this time it's a story.
All right, what's up?
And a public service announcement.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Okay. Okay. Yo, man, look. I just wanted to let the people know that you have to be aware. You almost have to have superhuman spidey senses before you fart at work. I just want you to know that, because I had lentils, or I had beans, or maybe I was eating like I was an idiot. Either way, I had gas. It was bad. So, you guys know I'm working in manufacturing. So usually it's an open floor. And in my situation, there's no one really near me. So I can kind of do what I want to do, whatever it is. So I had this, it was so bad. It was to the point to where I was like, you nasty. It was so bad. So I let one go. And then I look up and one of my bosses is walking my way. Not necessarily my way to me, but just in my direction. And I was like, man, if you come over here, your skin will fall off of your body. I promise you. Please don't come over here. So good for him and me, because I promise you he would have sent my nasty behind home and said, go get a colon cleanse. He moved on and passed my station by and went somewhere else. And again, I have a huge station and no one's near me. It's not a problem. So I'm thinking to myself, I was like, I have to talk about this on the show. And I'm telling you, you just be careful, people. If you're out here with gas, just be careful.
Bro,
I
everybody
promise
got,
you, I almost got fired, bro.
bro, everybody got gas, man. Ain't nobody.
Man,
I'm too old to be hiding gas now.
I am
man.
never too old to be hiding gas from strangers.
If I pass gas and somebody's like, man, shit stink, like, yeah, nigga, I just farted. That's what happened. So
It is a bodily function.
yeah, it should happen.
Look, man.
And you talking about colon cleanse? It sounds like your colon was cleaning itself right there. It was
Self
like
cleaning, baby.
the only time somebody needs to make a comment about you having gas is if they're asking out of concern. Like, hey, you need to go check yourself. Like, hey, you sure ain't nothing come out? Like,
man, I'm telling you. All I'm saying is I appreciate y'all's attitude because I feel the same way, sort of. However, public service announcement. Just make sure.
Hey.
Just make sure. Because I promise you the paint came out the floor. It
Look,
did.
man, I'm gonna need some of these people, about one person, to stop commenting up here. We'll go cuddle with my stick ass then. Well, look, if that's on the table, if that option is on the table,
I mean, I don't know if I can be mad at that.
Take that personal. Ouch.
No, I say herein lies the double standard. So, all right, I'll give an example that's not her, but she was there. So we minding our business, watching the Super Bowl at a friend's house, and of course Usher's performing, but Alicia Keys is up there on the stage.
Fine woman, boy.
Yeah, and neither one of us guys made a statement about Alicia Keys. Neither one of us did. It's that the only statement I made was, "Damn, she was off key." Like when she first started, I was like, "Oh, she was really off key."
Because you gotta say something, but you can't say.
That's the truth. She was really off key when she first started. I mean, look, she sings flat all the time live. That's just who she is. I mean, doesn't take away from her artistic ability.
At least she was singing live.
Yeah, she's a very good, very talented woman. But my friend's wife was like, look at y'all just in here staring at Alicia Keys. Neither one of us said anything. Now, neither one of us denied the fact that both of us think she's a gorgeous woman, but we ain't say nothing. But as soon as Usher takes his shirt off, he's like, "Go ahead on, Usher." And I'm just like, "Hold on." So you get to make a comment, but we gotta act as if we didn't see shit. We gotta act like because we with you, apparently our hormones and penis just ceased to stop working. Like this. Hey, you know what? As soon as I got married to you, like my dick just stopped working for anybody else. Like, you know what? I don't need. You know what? I used to think I was straight, but then I realized, no, I'm only heterosexual for you.
Right. Right. There's no lies detected. That is exactly what the expectation
because here's the thing. If she had her own podcast and they were talking about whatever sexy man chocolate they wanted to talk about, I would just be like, all right. I mean, you think he's sexy. Cool. I wouldn't be like, well, you go cuddle with him, because I wouldn't want to hurt my ego that much, and you feel like that's an actual option. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd be like, well, go sleep with his ass then. And then she'd be like, all right, now I'm hurt. Now I'm angry and I got hurt feelings.
And you're gonna get labeled immature, by the way, sir.
So now I got hurt feelings too. But because I make a comment about mine getting real thick and she getting real thick. I mean, I'm just saying that's just what it is. Like, I mean,
I don't think that's a comment. I think it's a fact.
You had to say it twice.
Thank you, Ruben. Yeah. Hey, if Ruben
had to say it twice.
If Ruben has to say black, I gotta say she getting real thick twice. You know what I'm saying? Like she getting thick. All right, like it ain't.
Wait a minute, she getting thick.
Yeah. and look, there's a lot of women, who were in the industry back in the day that when I look at them now, I go, hey, you were always an attractive woman, but now you like on grown women stuff. Like I see Ashanti now. I'm just like, Ashanti, you were always a pretty woman, but I'm like, Ashanti, like you thick now. Like you're an adult. Like you're a full-fledged adult.
But
like
she was an adult then almost.
Yeah, but it was different, man. It was just different, man.
Yeah.
It was different, man.
I mean, she was like 21 and all, but she won't like grown woman.
Yeah, it was
different.
Different, man. It's just different. And really it's different because I'm older too now. You know what I'm saying? So like I wouldn't want her to still look the same as she did when she was 19, 20, because then I would feel like the dirty old creeper in the mall looking at the high school girls. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to feel like that. So when I look at a woman now, I want to feel like you're an adult. So if I do happen to have an inappropriate thought, I don't hate myself for it.
You know,
I mean, there are no lies detected there.
well, you know what though? You know, I will say,
Brett is there. It is seasoned.
she's seasoned
Seasoned
really. Y'all.
now.
What is she a piece? Well, I guess she is a piece of meat. I guess. That's
Wow.
awful.
Wow.
It's
AD,
awful.
It's awful that you just said that like
Yeah,
out
you,
loud.
yeah, you
Well,
said it.
No. Brent Malone says she's seasoned.
Yeah,
There's
but
only
Yeah,
one
but-
way to go
but-
with that.
No,
But you don't need to say
my
that
brother.
out loud.
Exactly. You said it out loud. We,
Okay, true
me and Ruben didn't say anything. We were just like, yeah.
Actually, you know what? When he said that, I was in the middle of a thought. I was being a creeper. Is it if you're a creeper and you're talking about your wife, or you're creeping?
now this is a creepy
No.
statement.
See. I'm not talking about on that sense. I'm talking about like if I was single, no ties, but if I'm like that old dude who ain't married, but just at the mall back in the day, there was always that old dude at the mall just looking at the high school girls, thinking,
Yeah, no.
boy, if I was just 30 years young, I don't want to feel like that when I look at a woman. Like I want to feel like I still want to
So
feel like
jacked up.
I still want to feel like I'm not like a terrible human being for being attracted to this woman. Like, because if I look at a high school girl now, it don't matter how fine that high school girl is,
She's a
she's
high
a
school.
high school girl, and ain't nothing crossing this thought process. But when somebody is seasoned,
But she got some Lowry's on her or something.
yeah, when somebody's
man.
seasoned, when somebody has some life experience, somebody has some life experience. When we can say the quote unquote, it's been brined. You know what I'm saying? We've marinated it a little
Wait a
bit.
minute. Y'all on me about saying is she a piece of meat, and he's talking about brining and marinating.
But
How is that different? How is that different?
I was just trying to keep on theme with you. You the one that called her a piece of meat.
I question
Alliteration.
myself sometimes why I do this show.
Alliteration,
good.
my friend. Alliteration. You can say things about it, but as long as you don't mention it, it is still up to the
But
imagination.
that's not alliteration. Alliteration is saying two words with the same consonant. What are you talking about?
No. What is about, AG? It's all about outward appearance. If you don't say it, can't nobody get mad at you.
So it's almost like when somebody's racist, but they don't say nigga.
Exactly.
You can't prove it, but you know it, but you can't prove it.
It's similar. You know what it's like is like my homeboy's wife who made the statement about Alicia Keys, but me and him actually hadn't said anything. Like you can think it, you can imply it, you can try to put it on us, but neither one of us said shit. Like we
You
was
got-
just like,
You
got
ain't
no
us on
evidence.
tape.
yeah, you ain't got no evidence. Like, hey, can you prove it? Like we went straight to the Shaggy. It was like it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. Oh man.
Hey man, that Shaggy defense has probably saved a couple of dudes.
Being in a relationship with a woman is the only relationship you'll ever have in your life with anybody where you can be guilty for thoughts. You can be guilty for thoughts.
Look, it's like Minority Report.
Because
You're crying before you do the crime.
here's the thing: has anybody ever gone to jail for thinking about pedophilia? No. You go to jail when you do that nasty ass shit.
That's true. You're not
Unless
wrong. I don't see no lies detected, but it's just so funny. It's just.
I mean, look, every
well,
dude,
cuddle with Maya's thick ass, the MOB.
look, everybody's been in a relationship in which you've got like damn near interrogated because somebody had a nightmare or a dream that you did something wrong.
I have been there.
Exactly.
My wife is the sweetest woman ever. She had a dream that I was messing around with this woman. I didn't even know who the woman is. I didn't even know if she was ugly or not. She probably wasn't even my type, bro. She was a little heated. I was like, She said, I'm sorry. I know you didn't do nothing, but I'm a little mad.
And then you can't even ask like the pertinent questions like, hey, well, what does she look like? Because I would have been more. I want to know question. Hey,
actually, I wanted to ask her. That's like,
hold on. You said you wanted to, which means you didn't.
I didn't, but I'm gonna ask her right now.
No, don't do that to yourself, bro. No, please don't do that to yourself live on air, man. No, man.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
No, man. Look, man, we don't. Hey, man, I'm out, man. You are not gonna have me involved in this.
Moby left. Don't be scared, Moby. Look, hey, is she as pretty as you? I know she wasn't. She was not as pretty as she was. She said no comment.
Okay. She said no comment.
If she said no comment, that means she was pretty there.
It wouldn't,
because why would you mess with a girl uglier than your wife?
Man, look, the bottom line is my wife's a stone cold fox. She's got a rack like that could fit 10 coats on it. I don't really care, bro. I think nasty, inappropriate thoughts, and I'm married to her. So I'm like, really?
Bro,
you tell me who is finer than my wife is. Now there's some lateral moves. But there's no you tripping.
Bro, I have never felt so underaged. You use so many old man references to describe your wife right there. Stone cold fox, a rack you can hang 10. Bro, like, hey, man, like you just senior citizen described your wife, man. Like, hey, man, I'm
gonna be 55 years old this year.
That ain't got nothing to do with her though, man.
What? I like him, bro.
Bro, please stop, man. Stop, man. Like,
no, I'm just saying she is 54 this year.
Bro, now you're saying her age out on the airwaves?
I'm gonna give you context. See, you don't have context. See, this is the thing. When we first say what? Exactly. There are two women that are cornerstones in my fantasies. Both of them, well, actually, I think one has passed. Nancy Wilson, the jazz singer. She fine as man, wow. And then the other one was Helen Mirren. Oh my. So it's like when we first started dating, she's thinking that, okay, I'll just say this. She's thinking that I like younger women. And I was like, no.
Because all women feel like guys like younger women. That's
okay. Well, I squashed that immediately. I was like, first of all, I like them old and gray. For real. So you can stop tripping about that. I mean, she continued to trip about it until she finally understood. But when she finally stopped dyeing her hair, Moby left again. when she finally stopped dyeing her hair and it grew out, because first she stopped dyeing her hair and she had it blonde, and then the blonde grew out to gray, so it'd be a transition. Man, you talking about a happy dude. I'm like, oh my. Like Nancy Wilson's hair, like as she got older, she stopped dyeing her hair and her stuff was gray. Man, look. So me mentioning her age, she already knows if I'm going to cheat, it ain't going to be with some young girl. It's not. I promise you that. I look at a young girl and get tired. I just don't know. I'm good. It's going to be some 65-year-old chick with like $1 million. That's what it's going to be.
Oh, but she's got to have $1 million.
Oh, no, I'm not free, baby. I'm not free. I'm expensive as hell. Look, I'm a lead with I need a vet and a Rolex. So, I mean, if you want to sometime, Dick, you going to have to get up. I'm just letting you know. But no, I'm just saying, man.
Just threw his flag down and said, this dick ain't free.
It ain't. It's not. Because, see, you want companionship. There are things I need to. This is going to be, because, see, we old people, we ain't got time. Put your stuff on the table. We're going to work it out. There is no pretense here. This is like, hey, that's what's up. $1 million isn't what you used to be, AG. You need 5. You know what? Do I need? No, but see, the thing is,
he said you need to add inflation to that dick, man.
I don't think so, because see, I'm not looking to date around, because once I start with one woman, that's the one, right? So what I'm thinking, $1 million is like a signing bonus, for real. $1 million is a signing bonus.
That's just the start.
Exactly.
That's
Because
the
if I'm-
open negotiation.
Exactly, because if she can spend $1 million just for the cost of doing business, she already got enough money.
Yo, man.
I'm good.
This
Just
chick
got to
about
make
take
sure I
an NIL
continue to
deal
eat
on
right,
AG.
get my stuff on, get my workout on, so I can get that dick right. Because that's really what we're about here. That's what's really going on, for real. So it's like, hey, you give me $1 million, I'm gonna train every day. Ain't no off season. Ain't no off season.
I have learned so much about you in the last 2 weeks, AJ. First of all, I learned you had a Korean wife. Then I learned you had Asian fetishes. Now I realize you got a thing for old chicks with money. You looking for a sugar mama. Like, bro, so much has just happened right now. Like, I don't.
You got one thing wrong though. I don't have any Asian fetishes. I was saying there are some people that do.
No. You clearly have an Asian fetish because you have a Korean wife, okay? That we didn't even know about. You didn't even tell us about it. Like, we had to find out from a whole nother person that you had a Korean wife. You had to find out about it. It was so.
I just found out last week. So how am I have fetish?
Because it was so deep in your subconscious, AJ, you didn't even realize you had a Korean wife.
I don't even have a Korean.
Matter of fact, the chick that your wife dreamed that you was cheating on, she's probably Korean.
Was the chick that she talked about Korean? No, she wasn't Korean.
Jesus.
She wasn't Korean. There's no way in the world that I don't have an Asian fetish. Now, are there some fine Asian women? Sure there are, but that's, I realize that they're beautiful, but I don't have a fetish for them. In fact, I try not to fetishize about anybody. Now, some things, absolutely. Now, if you put my wife in some things, we're gonna have party time. Chasing around the couch for sure.
I mean, I really wanted you to go a little bit more.
No, stop, Ruben.
Hold on, I said,
you invited it. Stop inviting it, bro. Hey, shut up, man. Shut up on your own show.
That's not what we need to do.
Bro.
Look, I said,
hey man, would you host this shit and move on to a subject or something? Didn't you send out a motherfucking show agenda or something? Can we get to that?
Oh my God. Why he pearl clutching? He said, why don't you host this show instead? Move on. Why can't I? Hey man, why can't I speak my truth, man? Why?
I kind of want to hear this.
AG, what am I doing right now?
You rope chain clutching.
It can't be much worse than what we heard on this show recently. So
I'm just saying, I just don't have an Asian woman fetish, man. It's just I have other things that I like, but they're things. They're not people.
Let's move on to Ruben talking about pegging. Ain't that what we're going to right next?
You mad at me, but you lead with pegging. Okay, let's do that.
Well, we talked about that last week, man. I'm trying to keep in theme with the show, man. We said
So you blaming some of your stuff on the show? Is that what you're doing?
I'm just trying to go with the flow of traffic. Ain't that what they say when you speed? Like, I'm just going with the flow of traffic, man. Just going with the flow of traffic.
Woo. Yeah, we got to call somebody else in about this pegging thing because I don't know shit about it. Experience or not, I don't know nothing about that shit. I mean, but hey, people do it, and shout out to them.
Shout out to the beggars.
Shout out to the people who be out here pegging.
I mean,
hey, or getting pegged.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of that game in Cracker Barrel with the little pegs in the triangle. Remember that game? Yeah. Just pegging away.
Nah, man. What
you gotta make a triangle with it, so there's like 3 people and pegging.
I mean, it's very similar to the Greatest Smurf episode ever.
Which one was that?
When Gargamel poisoned one of the Smurfs, and he went around Ganap. Instead of saying Smurf, he said Ganap, which was backwards a Smurf, but it doesn't make any sense. And he would turn other Smurfs purple by biting their tail, and it infested the whole joint. Yeah, that shit was wild, man. Like that shit was on TV.
How do we relate that to pegging?
I want to know.
I got lost, bro. Like
it's because they got bit in the tail. Is that the part?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Getting bit in the tail.
Now we're talking about rim jobs now.
I mean, they got pegged. They got pegged on cartoon TV, man. That's all I'm saying. The 80s was wild, baby. The 80s was wild. They couldn't talk about pegging, so they had to bite things on the ass. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
What the fuck are we even talking about anymore, man? Like,
you brought up pegging, and I'm just.
I
told
the host to get on with hosting.
Brett remembers that episode. It's like one of the classic ones, man.
I remember the purple ass episode.
Yo, it was crazy. And I'm sitting there, I'm just like, yo, man, because when you like 10, it's like, what the fuck, man? But now you look at it like that might be the nastiest shit ever be on Smurfs TV.
He's looking for where this show has gone and what the notes.
I'm looking at the show notes, and we was just like, fuck it.
Jesus. I mean, hey man, but we vanilla, so.
Hey man, wait a minute. Actually, this kind of leads into the question.
Well, I'm not that question, not yet.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Now you want to do some hosting? Now you want to moderate this shit?
Look, man. Hey, look. Sometimes you gotta pass the steering wheel to like AG every now and then AG took us on a trip. Look, I'm not on LSD, so
now actually the only thing I really wanted to say was the thing about the farting. Mo B he puts the breadcrumbs down and then he acts like he didn't have nothing to do with this. That's not true. This is on tape. I can prove that he just like low key putting stuff out there and be like, and then pearl clutching over it.
I mean, that's why I sit back and watch.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me. Now anytime he goes to the Shaggy defense, that means he's guilty.
Wasn't me.
So
you gonna trust me or your lying ass ears?
Wow. Wow. I think I'm gonna go with my lying ass ears.
I mean, it depends. So, so the craziness of last week was everything, but we're not gonna talk about everything because we ain't got a show long enough for that. But we are gonna talk about these. God bless America. I want to speak on it, but I might as well just fucking do it. What the fuck are those, man?
Oh, he's come out with different.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, he's got a whole bunch of different types of shoes. So,
yeah, they got the Insurrection 2s, the J6s.
Yeah. First of all, bro.
The good on both sides.
Oh, to give you an update.
The good on both sides. Those 399 shoes sold out. 1,000 people bought those $400 shoes. I knew they would.
Somebody bought a pair for $9,500.
$9,500?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that dude was doing. Wow. But whatever.
And look, he's got a pair that looks like J4s. Wow.
Yeah, man. Like
okay.
I mean,
that's what we're doing.
Like, I want to sit here and look. I look at these and, bro, this T on the side. Come on, where's New Balance suing some motherfuckers, man? And apparently one. I think it's the $400 ones. They're red bottom shoes, and apparently somebody's got a patent on that. So they said somebody might be suing Trump for that shit. And I was like,
I mean, look, there's enough people with lawsuits out against him. Would he give a fuck about one more?
I mean, true. But it's like, hey, man, he came out with shoes for us. Because, he wants to get closer to the black community.
Here's the thing. That statement is half correct.
Yes, very much so.
Because he's not trying to get us to vote for him. He just want niggas' money.
Exactly.
Like like the Republican Party is acting like, oh well, this is gonna get him cooler with black people because they'll buy shoes. Like, man, we can buy shoes of niggas and we don't actually even like them. Like, hey, look, everybody wear Jordans. Anybody inviting that nigga to the cookout for real?
Some will.
Some, but I mean, like
like if he was available.
Look,
I
man,
mean, look, you ain't gotta like the motherfucker.
ain't
that
nobody,
have him show.
ain't nobody clamoring to see that motherfucker show up in no mom jeans, man. Hey, we good, we good. Like there might be some older dudes that just like Dick Riding Jordan because like he's basically basketball Jesus to a whole bunch of people over 35. But like as far as niggas really wanting to just like kick it with Jordan, man, we kick it with Jordan for about 10 minutes and we would smell that, Republicans buy shoes attitude all over him and be like, hey man, you can go back. We just want to rock your J's. Like I just thought you was gonna bring a pair of them sixes here. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you just bringing yourself here, nah, you can keep you. Not,
You can keep you.
you keep you.
So here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. They're $400 a piece. He made 1,000 of them, the gold ones. 1,000 of them. I mean, I'm doing math, right? That's $40,000. This motherfucker owes over $400 million to people. What is $40,000 gonna do for anybody?
He's not trying to do anything about that. He doesn't think he'll ever have to pay it. For starters.
I mean,
and then
yeah,
for him, it's just about look what I can do. Look what I can sell to people who don't even like me. You can make up what you want to make.
You said he sold 1,000 of them?
He only made 1,000 of them.
That's what he said. He only made 1,000.
Then that's 400,000.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So that's what this is about for him, as far as I'm concerned. It's just like you said,
400,000.
But Ruben, those the first ones though. Like that means he got to have new additions. He got to give a different colorway next month. He's really taking the Michael Jordan formula because now, like in 3 months, he can re-release the same pairs in a different colorway and have niggas outside the mall shooting themselves over it. Like, I mean, that's the goal.
That, though. He said if I get indicted again, then my popularity is going to go through the roof again. So
and that's why that person bought them that one pair for $9,500 because he's pretty much like, hey, one day these shits are going. Hey man, niggas bought them Yeezys, and you saw those Yeezys. You saw what the Yeezys look like.
And weren't they?
Like, I mean, at least the dude who bought it for $9,500 was not of brown skin complexion. So
well, would he be? He's an investor. Black people don't be investing in shit. We be out here trying to stun on niggas, man. Ain't nobody investing. I'm trying to stun on them
until they step on your shoe. Next thing then you want to fight. You scuff my shoe.
Bugging out.
Now I gotta fight you. I mean, yeah. But
why is this shoe thing even bothering you this much, man? Like,
who said it was bothering me? I just wanted to talk about it.
You seem awful interested in these shoes, man.
I'm more shocked anyway. I'm not shocked at the shoes. I'm shocked. And I'm not really shocked. I think it's interesting and kind of comical that he comes out and says dumb shit like, yeah, I made these shoes for the young black people. And it's like,
I mean, so did Big Baller Brand. And I mean, niggas bought them shits too. Even though half of them didn't get them. Even though half of them didn't get theirs.
Oh, really? I thought by now, as everybody got theirs and then they went out of business, there are people who paid money and didn't get their sneakers.
Yeah.
Whoo. Okay.
I mean, sight unseen, you crazy. But yeah, I mean, and then of course when he made the statement that black people like him because he's been indicted and they understand how I feel. I was like, what?
He said it. I've seen that. I've seen that speech. He said it.
He's been persecuted, man, just like us black people.
Yep.
And I was just like,
but is that idea really new? Comparing yourself to black people to get your cause across?
I was just
the gay community's been doing it forever, and then the gay community is as racist as they come. So it's just like, is that new? It's
funny to a point. Not really because he said it. Like, if you listen to it, it's one thing that somebody said. It's like he enunciates the B in black very hard. And I'm just like, I mean, are you forcing yourself to say black, motherfucker? Like the black people. I was like, the fuck? Like, is a capital B up in that bitch? Like, it's just funny to me, man. And,
I mean, look, because he really don't understand where he went wrong. Because before he was like the president and shit, black people really did fuck with Trump. Like he was mentioned in all types of rapper songs.
Yeah.
I mean,
People living in his
was.
building.
yeah, like people love. Well, black people did love Donald Trump. We loved what he represented for some reason. Like the only thing that's like more disappointing than like Trump being himself and like actually not really giving a fuck about black people is if like I was like hanging around and I heard Ric Flair just start using nigger with the hard ER. That would hurt me because I'd be like, dog, you was our one, man. You was our one. Like
Ric Flair.
we knew Hulk Hogan was out here saying with that hard ER, but we always thought you, Rick, we adopted you.
He's
Like
not
we
wrong. He's not wrong.
you don't need to say
yeah,
it.
you don't need, bro. You can say nigga, and we'll probably give you a pass. There's a whole
Yeah.
bunch of people that'll give Ric Flair a pass if he was like, "That's my nigga right there." Like we'd be like, "Hey, I mean, that's Ric Flair."
Hey, woo! Now he lost the rest of the voice, the little voice he had.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm still here. I just can't go high.
but shoot, if you heard an interview with Ric Flair and then he all of a sudden he was like that nigger, we'd be like, "Oh,
Jesus.
not you, not you, my dude,
I might cry.
not
might cry.
you."
I might
Not-
cry.
I mean, bro, like, but besides Shawn
might cry.
Michaels, there was no white guy that I more wanted to be like when I was a kid
Oh.
than Ric Flair.
I think everybody want to be like Ric Flair.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Ric Flair transcended race
because
Oh, yeah.
we all wanted to be Ric Flair when it was Mid-Atlantic wrestling.
Yeah.
because you know what Ric Flair sounded like? He sounded like a nigga with money.
Yeah.
He did.
'Cause he had money.
He didn't sound Ruby. He didn't sound like a white person with money who was trying to be fiscally responsible, invest and create generational wealth. No, he sounded like young rapper Rich, where he was like limousine driving, paying $3,000 for clothes. Look at the drip. You know what I'm saying? Like that. We looked at Ric Flair. and
This
he was
robe
just like,
cost me $45,000.
yeah, exactly. Like you
I
know,
got the Rolex right here. Whoa! I did. Oh man, Ric Flair. shit's
once
awesome.
again, as a young black kid, we were looking at him like, hey man, if I didn't know Ric Flair was a wrestler, I think he was a dope boy. Like the way he acted, like
I mean, he ain't lying. You know,
So,
he
yeah,
beat a
so-
Rocky King every Saturday.
so like there's no greater fall that a white man's had with the black community than Donald Trump. Like literally, Donald Trump in the
But has
90s.
he really fallen though?
Yes,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like public perception from the black community about Donald Trump in the 90s, because we weren't reading to know that he was doing all types of racist real estate practices. We weren't reading the fact that he was basically not paying any of his minority workers for shit. We didn't know about anything. We knew he owned a goddamn hotel.
And
He
he
was
was kind of
he was always talking about his money. He always had limousines. He was flashy. So as black people, there's a whole bunch of black people who think Donald Trump is a real businessman. Like, hey man, he's such a good businessman. I'm like, how you gonna be a good businessman? You don't file bankruptcy as much as him. Like every business Donald Trump has ever touched has failed.
I mean, I know that.
So what I'm saying, he's had a really big fall in the black community because now a lot of black people just, man, it's racist motherfucker. But like just 20 years ago, like we was like, hey, Donald Trump's my man. Like I go kick it with Donald Trump. Like, bro, in the 90s, if you'd have been like, hey, can you want to go hang out in a hotel with Donald Trump? I'd have been like, shit, yeah.
I mean, the man was in WWE against Vince McMahon. Like,
I mean,
what? Like,
I don't
clearly,
know, man. I don't know.
clearly,
'Cause it's
man.
like for me, what I'm seeing is a lot of people that are, they don't really like what Biden's done, whatever their beliefs are. And then they see some key black people out there like Ice Cube and Snoop, and then trickling on down to second tier, third tier celebrities that are black that rock with this dude. And it's just like,
Rock with who?
I don't know if what y'all are saying is true.
Rock
Okay,
with, who does Ice Cube rock with?
Trump,
look, man.
Really?
Snoop too.
I ain't know
I'm
that.
like, and then it was somebody else. Was it? I forgot. But anyway, so that was my concern. Lauren and I were talking about this about 2 weeks ago. I was like, black people really don't rock with Biden for real. So I'm afraid that it's just like they're so angry with Biden for whatever reasons. List them.
Yeah.
They're
we
like
did.
Trump. All they can remember is Trump's name on a STEMI check.
Adrian,
here's the thing.
I hate to make this delineation. Like I hate to make this statement because it makes me feel bad. But Black people still don't like Trump. They're just mad at Biden. Niggas still think Trump is cool.
He sounded like my mom. He sounded like my mom just did. I was like, oh God.
I mean, he's not really wrong there.
He's not wrong.
like when we talk about the majority of black people, which contrary to popular belief, the majority of black people are pretty educated, middle class, actually have read a book once or twice in their life. Those people don't like Trump. They just mad at Biden because they realize that a lot of the shit that the Democratic Party said they were going to do, they have it. And for the most part, the Democratic is taking advantage of black loyalty. But the people that still actually, quote unquote, like Trump, them niggas. I'm just.
But here's the fun part. But here's the fun part about that, right? You see it on that side, on the black people side. But on the white people side, it's very interesting because you have possibly the most famous person in the world hates Trump, and she is all about hating Trump and will let everybody know that you shouldn't fuck with that guy. And she's super rich, which is Taylor Swift. And
what is your obsession with bringing her name up on this show every week, man?
That does have context.
It does.
Yeah, get off my case. And then, honestly, I just saw something the other day from Eminem. Basically, like he basically was just talking. He was like, "Hey, poor white people, I used to be one of you. Trump don't like us. Like, what are you talking about?" And it's really interesting because, like, I got friends who like both. So, and some of them are Trump supporters. So I'm very interested in what they think about it because I got a couple friends who are Caucasian, huge Trump supporter, but they rock with Eminem hard. And I'm just like, I mean,
how do you do both?
Exactly. I'm very interested to find out because it's like, I mean, it's interesting right now because, like you said, apparently we got rich black people who like Trump, but now you got rich white people who can't stand Trump. And the question is, all this shit's gonna meet in the middle, and you just don't know how shit's gonna go. But the only people I can really, as far as people goes, it's gonna come down to the intelligent middle class, as it always does in every election.
I mean,
come down to them. And
okay.
And
well,
honestly, and the question, and to me, 4 years ago was one thing, and if I'm correct, Biden won by 7 million votes. 4 years later, like I know, I just brought it up, but this Taylor Swift shit, that could be a big impact because she got a whole bunch of people who don't like football watching fucking football. Imagine if she can get those people who can vote to the voting booths, not to vote for that dude. Like, it's about to be real interesting this year. I'm excited for it because I want to see both sides and who really comes out to rep both sides because this year's gonna be a little different. Because I mean, I think it's interesting when people say, "Well, Biden hasn't done anything." I mean, there's a point to that, yes, but what we should be saying is Congress ain't done shit because we got a bunch of people in Congress who don't want to do shit.
I mean, you can say that, but if someone feels as though Biden hadn't done anything, it doesn't matter what's true or not. It matters that they feel that he hasn't done anything. My concern is that a portion of those people will rock with Trump or whoever the Republican nominee is just because they're that angry. Yeah, that's my only concern.
But my concern is just that there are enough people who don't rock with Biden so much that they just ain't gonna vote, period.
That's even worse. So yeah, I get that. Or because that's giving him more votes, or whoever the Republican nominee more votes.
But here's the thing, right? And this is why I think all the people that are talking, including us, we're the 5 to 10%ers. All these polls coming out, I don't listen to that shit because you're talking about
Trump proved and when he got elected that these polls are out of date and out of touch.
Yeah, like every poll says that Trump's beating the shit out of Biden, or Nikki Haley's crushing both of them, whatever. None of that shit matters until the day of. And in the grand scheme of things, man, is like, you're right. I don't listen to these polls because these polls don't mean shit. Because what means shit is election day, supposedly. And I say that on purpose. So, like, hey, man, if you don't want to go sit out there in those long-ass lines, put your vote in early. Like, go ahead, get registered, all that crazy shit. Just get it done. Like, and we'll talk about that, obviously, closer. But it's like, yo, man, I don't know who's going to win. And I care, but I don't. Because to me, that race doesn't bother me as much as the House of the Congress races.
The local races are always way more important.
Yeah,
you just publicize the president, the figurehead position.
Because I mean, there's a lot of Americans out here who are just like, how come shit ain't getting done? And shit ain't getting done because you have a Republican Congress who don't want to get shit done, and that's when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it's real disingenuous to blame the Republicans, though. And the reason I say that is because if it was Democrats in that position and a Republican president, the same amount of nothing would still be getting done. Well, because both parties just don't want to concede to the other one, no matter whether the other one's right or not.
But the thing with that is, that's not necessarily true. The only time it doesn't get done is if it gets vetoed. Because even when Donald Trump had a Democratic Congress, shit still got done, and he signed shit. And there are a couple things that got vetoed.
That in lies the problem that black people have with Biden, is that very statement you made, because the Democratic Party does a terrible job of PR.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's been a lot of things that Democrats actually have got done under Biden. The problem is all the shit that he promised and talked about and ran on, none of that shit got done. And then from a black person perspective, like if I'm being black first, which I mean, I'm unapologetic about. I mean, I'm a black man. So a lot of times I do see politics in my worldview as black first because that immediately affects me. Mm-hmm. And as a black person who did vote for Biden, because I mean, I wasn't fucking voting for Trump. I mean, all we've seen is the only time that Biden has put his pin to something that he could executive order Asian hate, giving money to Ukraine, and all of a sudden coming to the aid of all the Jews. And as a black person who literally black people were the backbone of your campaign, and all the people that push you, all the black women, because the black women vote like leaned almost exclusively to Biden. That's a direct slap in the face when we couldn't get shit passed, like with the George Floyd bill about the police thing, brutality. We couldn't get anything that had the word black in it to go anywhere. But as soon as some Asians died, and that's not a slight or disrespect, but as soon as that became public and we heard about 8 people dying, it was like, oh, this Asian hate, we've got to stop it. Meanwhile, our community has been getting assaulted for centuries. And now we see it on camera. Now it's not just hearsay. Now white people can try to run away from it, but the shit's in your face. We see it now. Yep. But still, we weren't worthy of anything with Biden's pen. The only thing he did for black people was for a black person when he got Kamala to be his vice president, which he said, I'm going to get a black female candidate just because of representation, which basically, in my mind, diminished Kamala Harris as a vice president, because basically you didn't say, I think she's most qualified for the job. You said you were going to get a black vice president candidate woman just because. You basically affirmative actioned your own fucking vice president. Instead of just saying, I feel like this woman is the most qualified, before you announced that it was going to be her, you announced that it would be a black woman. And you said you hadn't made your decision, which completely undercut your VP, who's been the most radio silent vice president known to man, which is a hard thing to do because most people don't fucking know about the vice president. Most people don't see the vice president. But my God, did she disappear? Like she was wearing all white one day. The sorority sisters were out. And then it was just like, oh shit, you've been VP for 2 years. And I think I've seen you on TV twice. I mean, so there's a lot of issues that black people have with Biden, and most of it is just like, we really know we don't fucking matter to him. He just needs us. And that's how a lot of black people feel about the Democratic Party in general. We don't really feel like you're the party for us. We just feel like you're the party that at least most describes that you need us. But eventually that goodwill is starting to wear off, which is why I do think Trump is going to win, because I think a lot of black people are just not going to show up for Biden. I mean, I don't think it's going to be more black people jump ship to the Republican side. I think it's just going to be less black people ride for Biden. It's just going to be like, I'm good. We got a lot of people feel like we have two of the worst candidate choices ever. So I just don't want to be a part of voting for either one of these motherfuckers. And as much as I hate the whole I don't vote because I don't like either one of the candidates, I do understand that logic. Like, I gotta pick between Trump, who I think doesn't like me, and Biden, who I think doesn't care about me. Not much of an option. Where's the independent at? Like, where's Jill Stein again? Like,
oh, the independent, Cornel West. Exactly.
I'd vote for him. I'd vote for him before I vote for either one of them. At least he's gonna give me some of the greatest, like, State of the Union addresses ever. Could you imagine all the metaphors and analogies that he would be given in that State of the Union address? Oh man, like we would spend weeks trying to decipher what the fuck was he talking about.
Here, I guess my thing is like I'm with you. I see it differently. I see it similar but differently, because like I definitely see where, you know, we haven't had anything done for us. But then again, I feel like we really haven't had anything done for us in a very long time. Like, yeah. I mean, you can even include some of those 8 years of Obama, and I would sit here and say like,
yeah. I mean, look, I hear what you're saying. I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, exactly.
He just Taylor Swifted you.
I know, right?
But I'm gonna say, at least what Obama did was give us 8 years of having some swag in the White House, and at least Bill Clinton played the saxophone for us niggas, like before he locked half of us up. Like, I'm just saying, like at least give me some, like, on the surface level, like, things that I can be semi happy about. Like, and I'm being sarcastic and serious at the same time. Like,
I mean, I would definitely say probably for the last 8 years is, for me, it's been the lesser of two evils. I mean, because like we know what the fuck's gonna happen if Trump get back in that bitch, and we know what's gonna happen if Biden get back in that bitch. The question is, which is worse, you know? And to me, like, I love it when people say, "Well, the economy's not good." I mean, I'm like, whatever. I mean, I understand, you know. I guess for a middle class person, it's different. You know, for a single middle class person, it's different from a married middle class person or a middle class person who's married with children. Like, it's very different for me, you know. And I mean, I'm not uppity or anything like that, but like, I mean, my 401k is doing all right. You know, I'm not like hating on that and stuff like that. And it's just like, for me, I just know that if Trump gets in that bitch, it's just gonna be a circus every goddamn day. because it was a circus the last 4 years when he was here 4 years ago. It was a fucking circus every day. I don't want the circus. I just don't. I'm done with the circus. Now, it is the Democrats' fault that they did not have anybody. They did not prep anybody to go against Biden. So yes, that's their fault. And Republicans, the Republican group of Trump, like, I just want him to go away. Honestly, I need this one last dagger to be put in his heart so he'll just go away. And don't pay. I don't care if he pays nobody nothing. Just go away. That's where I'm at right now with him. You know what I mean? You know, but until we can fix our, for me, we got to fix our Congress problem just as much as we got to fix our presidency. Because what's going to happen is, you're probably right, Trump's going to get elected, but then he's going to get a Democratic Congress. And then it's like, fuck, another 4 years of a whole bunch of nothing. I can't take it. And now you got motherfuckers out here, you know, Roe versus Wade and everything. Thank you, Alabama, for pissing off everybody. No more IVF. Are you shitting me? Like, oh my God. I'm over it. I'm over all that shit. Like, I'm completely over that shit. 100%.
Well, like I keep saying, 2 years ago, we told you this guy could win. And I think he can. And I think he's going to get more of the black vote than anybody's willing to say. So it is what it is. Be ready.
I do think he's going to get more of the black vote than he got last time, but I don't think that's what's going to propel him to victory. I think the lack of black people showing up is what's going to help him win.
Either way to me. Either way. I mean, it's a split. Those two statements are splitting hairs. The bottom line is, if he gets the nomination, he'll win.
Here's the thing, AG. It's not splitting hairs, because if he wins because less black people show up, will also win less Democratic seats, because if they're not showing up for that, they're not showing up for all the other votes too.
Right.
But he could win if more black voters show up, because I do think a lot, because even when black voters did vote for him before, they voted for him and then they voted for Democratic and local things. So it's actually probably more dangerous for us to just not show up than it is for us to vote for Trump.
Because you don't have to vote for the presidency.
Exactly.
That's a choice. And I mean, and that's the whole thing. And that's why, like, Virginia, you know, I'm very interested, because we've been trending blue the last couple of presidencies. Is this year we go back red? I mean, to me, that's gonna tell like everything. But you got a whole bunch of new voters out here. It's gonna be interesting, you know. All of this.
I don't think elections are ever won based on new voters.
Well, it depends.
I think in the history of polls, they've shown that new voters can swing the pendulum in one direction if it's already on a cliff, but usually it's not this new wave of voters that come in and take over. Like, the closest thing to that was Obama's first election.
That's what I was going to say. New voters matter.
Yeah, but we were already on the tipping point, because there were just a lot of people who just were going to come out against anything that was Bush related. Period. Like,
well, Bush didn't do that in the last 3 years of his presidency.
Exactly.
So the Republicans already knew, yep, we're gonna lose this shit. Like, they knew going into it, they were about to take an L, and that's just what it was. I mean, yeah, they just knew that, and it's just like.
And part of me feels like that's what the Democratic Party feels like right now. I feel like the Democratic Party, in many ways, is almost conceding to the fact that it's Biden, which means it's probably not going to be us. I mean, we're going to put on a good face. We're going to put up a good fight, but it's Biden.
I think
the guy that told us he only wanted to run for one term, and now he's running for a second term.
But when it comes down to it, like, I would say this might be the most important year of who Donald Trump picks to run with him for vice president, because there's some loony people out there that if he picks the wrong loony person,
See, here's the thing. If Donald Trump's team is smart, they're not looking for a loony person. They're looking for like a straight, narrow Republican that just don't hate him. That just doesn't hate Donald Trump. It doesn't gotta be somebody that rides with him to the end of earth. Just somebody that doesn't hate him, just so the people who just want to vote Republican can just because they want to vote Republican can say, well, I might not like Trump, but that guy's okay.
Basically,
Like,
another Pence.
Exactly.
well, but I guess the other thing is, would Republicans, if he picked a female running mate, would they vote that in? Because
I don't
then-
see Trump ever doing that.
Yes.
that's. I mean,
He wouldn't. He wouldn't. He's not. There wouldn't be a female candidate.
And then what female could stand all the things he said about women?
Oh no, there'd be plenty of them. There'd be
Oh,
plenty of them.
Stefanik, man, Stefanik.
You know
that
what?
chick's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That chick's
Yeah.
crazy, bro.
You're right.
She
True.
already said if I was Mike Pence, then I wouldn't have certified shit. I was like, oh, this bitch here. Yeah, I don't need her nowhere near the White House. I don't need her in the Black House. Yeah, that chick's crazy.
I just need us to blow up the government and just start over. Let's just start over. And I don't mean figuratively like kill people. Just like, hey, you know what? This shit ain't working. Let's figure out a new system. Like this ain't working.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen.
Oh, I know.
Never gonna happen. But
And to all the people who think that, you know, if we just get the right candidate in there, it'll fix it. You're cute. Politics is never going to be fixed. We're past the tipping point where we can save it. Just, you know, kind of just like the planet, all these tree huggers that think we're going to save the planet. No, this shit's dead. It's got terminal cancer, and all we can do is make it a little bit more comfortable and maybe prolong it a few more decades. But for the most part, this planet is dead. Like we're dead.
wow.
Same with politics. Like I hate to be, you know, I know that's super optimistic, but
Well, all right. Cool. So AG, man.
I like how you said cool after that depressing ass statement I made. Cool. Now that we just talked about how we're all going to die,
I mean, pretty much.
AG,
that's
kick it
kinda
over
where
to
I
you.
was going. I'm gonna send my man on the street, AG. So, how's the birthday party?
It's gonna rain.
Oh shit. What's on your mind, AG?
None, man. It's just actually piggybacking on what we were just talking about. I didn't know we were going to talk about that, but you know, that was what was on my mind. All these memes and all the news and all the things that are coming out. It's just like, just vote.
Yeah.
Just vote. Don't vote emotionally. Just for real, vote. Think about what you're doing. Whatever it is that you believe, think about what you're doing and vote like that. Because, like I said, my biggest concern, and I've already said it, is people voting out of anger. And it's just like, most of the time when you do anything out of anger, it's not going to turn out well. So again, number one, vote. And number two, be informed and be honest with yourself, whatever that honesty is. So it's just like, I ain't trying to tell you where to vote. I'm just letting you know, just go vote. So that's what's on my mind for real.
Thank you. Mo B, what's on your mind, bro?
Hey man, I am happy today, even though we took a L today in basketball.
Lost?
Oh yeah, we lost.
Oh man.
Back.
It was a tough game, man. We were playing the referees and the other opponent. It was
Y'all
difficult.
had two opponents at once.
Yeah,
Oh, they
and,
played the
and
refs this time?
no, I ain't blaming the refs, but I mean the refs are lazy and they were basically just like, we're trying to speed this game up. So their team spent most of the time beating our girls up and down the court. They were letting them play. That's what they'll say. We'll say they were letting them play.
Is that what we're doing?
They
Letting them
were
play?
definitely letting them play. There were a couple times I had to yell on the court, and I told Kira to get up and stop letting that imaginary person knock her down, because like she full-fledged got thrown to the ground and there was no foul. So I was just like, hey, apparently that imaginary person just knocked you down. Get up. And I don't
Why
think
didn't
the
you take a
referee,
T, man? You should have taken a T.
man, it's hard for refs to give me a T because I don't directly antagonize them because I'm talking to my team. So it's like you can't really give a guy a technical foul for joking with his players.
Well, I'm saying you should have talked
Even
about
though
us.
everybody in the gym knew I was talking about the refs.
Hey, blind motherfuckers. Y'all gonna
Nah,
call
man,
something?
I ain't about that because I'm not about like my girls having excuses. Because I was just like, bro, they did play better than us, and they're deeper than us, and we had. And unfortunately, I have 2 girls on my team who lack motivation to play. Like basically, you know, in the NBA stat where they do that plus minus when you're in the game, I did it myself, and I wish I wouldn't have, because I had 2 people that when they were in the game, if either one of them were in the game, we were minus 22. But when either one of them was off the floor, we were plus 8. So basically, if I didn't have to play them, we win.
You think they were on the take?
No, they don't really care about playing basketball.
That's what I was gonna say. Do they actually care about
They
it?
just
So
don't
why
care
are they
about
playing?
because their parents want them to, and they don't have the heart to tell their parents that they really don't. Because you know it's rec, man. So I think some girls actually enjoy playing basketball, and the thing is, you can enjoy playing basketball without wanting it to be serious. And I think they enjoy the team, enjoy playing basketball casually, but they don't want competitiveness because they have anxiety. Because that's the new age thing.
Oh my
Anytime a
gosh.
teenager can't deal with stress, it's their anxiety.
You know, I was
It-
going to ask about that. Is that really legit? Because I don't think anxiety is that legit.
Here's AG. It absolutely is legit
Okay.
because we have made anxiety a disease as opposed to something that everybody experiences at some point in time. Like everybody experiences stressful situations that causes you to have anxiety.
Yeah.
That does not mean you are diagnosed with having anxiety attacks. Like some people just don't deal with stress well because they never have to, because people make excuses for them. Like, and that's what I have on team because they start doing this fidgeting thing or pulling their shirt and say, look, she's having anxiety. No, she's just never been taught how to deal with stress because you're as babies them to the point where you don't make them have to deal with stress. Like me, I want my girls to deal with stressful situations early on in life. I want them to be in a safe place to fail so they can learn to deal with it. Because that was the biggest win. That's actually why I was happy, even though we lost. Like everybody on my team pretty much looked rattled for a while. We were up and then they came back and everybody looked rattled and everybody was being loud and the referees weren't blowing any whistles. And then they all, except for 2, everybody calmed down and we came back. And because they got stressed out, we talked about it, they dealt with it, they moved on.
Big Mo.
2 of them did not. 2 of them were basically, one girl basically told me she didn't want to play.
Okay.
But as the rules are constructed, they
You have to play at least one quarter, right?
Yes, and the issue with that, because the other coach found a loophole in that rule, they don't have to play one quarter. Everybody has to play. The thing is, everybody has to sit at least one quarter. So he had like 13 girls in his team, and he had like 4 that were really bad. But what he did is he played them for like a minute, maybe 2 minutes, and then took them out. So technically they played, but he also made sure that every one of his girls at least sat one quarter. See, the issue is I only have 8 girls. So the only way I can make sure everybody sits a quarter is I have to play them a whole quarter.
Why do y'all have? I'm surprised they don't make y'all have equal teams.
No, you have to have at least 8 girls to play, and we have 9 on our team. So they had 13. And the first quarter we were winning 10-1. And then I had to play the other 2 girls for a quarter. And then by the time halftime showed up, it was 21-11.
They just stood there as like, fuck it.
No, if they just stood there and said like fuck it, I'd have been okay with that. Basically, they got the ball and just handed it to the other team. And-
Wow. Are you serious?
And I say that as an exaggeration, but one girl literally every time she caught the ball because they were pressing, she would turn around, keep the ball right there, and they would just take it out of her hand. And this is a
How she
girl.
want on the take?
And this is a girl who can dribble, just won't do it in the game because she's scared.
How do you deal with that? I'm curious.
Love, man.
Okay.
I deal with it out of love, man.
Okay.
Because I feel bad for her. Because like I feel like she's one of the girls that enjoys playing basketball. She doesn't know how to deal with stress. Her mom clearly wants her to play basketball. And I think she enjoys basketball. But she's also terrified of, because, you know, look, we're in an age where these kids don't like to be embarrassed. They don't like to fail because failure is embarrassing to them. And that's a whole another issue. Because as somebody who played sports for schools, we didn't give a fuck about the people in the school that were saying we sucked, because we were thinking, your ass couldn't make the team anyway. Why am I worried about you?
True enough.
You can't make the team. But that's not how these kids think. These kids think I'm embarrassed. And now all these kids have this escape where they go, I could play, I just don't want to. Just like when I'm at the YMCA and the kids ain't really playing hard. So if they lose, they can be like, I won't even really try. We got a whole generation of people that aren't competitive because they're bitches. And I ain't saying if you're not competitive, you're a bitch, but you're a bitch if you try to go out your way to not be competitive just because you can't deal with taking an L. Because basically I had 6 girls out there today that were dogging it. Like they were competitive, like they wanted that shit. And I had 2 girls that were basically like, nah, we good.
Nah, we good. Okay.
So what would have happened if they didn't show up?
Those 2 didn't show up?
Yeah.
We probably win the game.
Yeah, but how do you sit people? Like, how does that work?
Well, as long as I have at least 7 people, I can make it so that everybody can sit a quarter and we're good.
But
and
if you only have 6 people,
if you have 6 people, you don't have to sit anybody. But in the 4th quarter, whoever's leading my team in scoring can't play.
Damn.
So here's the thing.
So here's the thing. 20, it doesn't matter.
So here's the thing. Last week we beat this same team because one of the 2 girls in questions wasn't there.
So you think it's like a 1-to-twin power activate thing when both of them there?
No, it's just when both of them are there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When both of them there, they suck.
No, I just can't. No, because even when one was there, the other one didn't help us either. It's just one of them doesn't hurt us that bad. But if I got to play 2 of them, and then, you know, there was 1 quarter where they were in at the same time because there's just no way to avoid that. So when they were both in the game, the 2nd quarter when I had to have them both in the game, we were up 10-1. A minute into the 2nd quarter, we were down 12-10.
Because basically it was 3 against 5. Because those teams won't do another.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. It is what it is, man. They're both nice girls, and I don't like. This is not an insult to them. It's kind of the problem with the rec atmosphere, and I say problem because like my wife was like, well, you know, you need to have a conversation with them. Like maybe this isn't for them, and I'm like, no, that's not fair because that's what rec basketball is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a place where you can go and just enjoy it and have fun. I mean, like, yeah, some of us are super competitive about it, but rec is we pay to play. So I'm paying to have a good time. So that's how I deal with it, if you ask me, AG. Like, because I'm not beating these girls up. I'm not like, oh, you suck, we lost because of you. Now, if I was a middle school coach, like if they had to try out for the team, they would still make the team. They just wouldn't have played.
Okay. Because when I played rec ball, if you sucked, you just didn't play. I mean, you can stay on the team if you wanted.
See, here's the thing. I also coach the boys' age group. Same age group.
Okay.
We don't have a sit rule there. Like we got like today our boys played today. There were about 4 guys that just didn't get in the fucking game because the boys' rules are different than the girls' room. Because apparently the girls' rules we have to protect parents' feelings. Because I don't really feel like it's the girls we're protecting. Because trust me, those 2 girls, they would have been okay with not playing today.
I was gonna say that's the whole goal, right?
Because they would have been okay with not playing today, not because you know they don't want to play, but they like beginning of the game, the crowd was in it. I'm like, we hadn't even started yet. Crowd is loud, the girls loud, everybody's hype. And one of the girls goes, "Man, this is really intense." And I knew right then, oh, you about to sell out on me today. Like, yo, if we ain't even tipped off and you saying this intense, oh baby, this about to get bad when you in here.
Plus
And
the other
bro,
girl.
it was bad when she was in there, man. She would just catch the ball and throw it in the air to somebody, like not looking, just I don't want the ball here. Just threw it up in the air.
Wow. Okay.
Like, it hurt, man. It hurt to see because I got a couple girls who just go so hard. And they were just so upset. Not that we were losing, but they were just like my own daughter, like Cadence was just like, I hate quitters. Like, and she was like, I'm mad that we lost, but I hate these quitters. And the coach in me was like, hey man, these your teammates. And the dad in me was like, hey man, these your teammates. But the dude that used to play sports was like, fucking right, I hate these bitches too. Like, bro, we out here trying to get shit done and you out here quitting and crying and shit in the middle of the second quarter. Like, man, go cry in the goddamn locker room. Like, because that's how I felt when I played. Like, I was
How come the dad and you didn't feel that though? How come the coach and you didn't feel that?
The dad in me didn't feel like that.
Coach.
No, because the dad in me didn't feel like that because I also don't want to walk around with the superiority complex. Like, look, everybody ain't gonna be built like you, and you need to embrace the fact that everybody ain't built like you, not be mad that everybody ain't built like you.
But that's not what she said. She said quitters. You don't have to be good or bad.
No. She won't like saying I hate these quitters. She was basically saying I hate them right now because they're quitters. And I was like, whoa. You got to understand, everybody ain't built with this I got to win at all costs thing that you got. I love the fact that she has that in her. She don't have no quit in her. Like, you could put her on the floor with some WNBA players right now, and she knows she ain't as good as them. But I bet she gonna throw an elbow. She gonna try. Like, she gonna try. So she was looking at her teammates going, y'all bitches sold me out.
Is that what she was thinking?
Oh, okay. yeah. Look. Cadence on the surface, Cadence is like super sweet and don't say anything. I mean, I've heard how she talks when she don't think ain't nobody listening. She sounds a lot like I did when I was a kid. So when she be talking, I really be translated. Like, I know how I would have said the same thing to my parental unit as well. And inside, I'd have been like, why the fuck you got me out here playing with these bitches?
I can see that.
Like, yo, no, we didn't lose. Them niggas lost.
Okay.
I can see Canes like that.
Yeah, and as a dad, I'm just like, hey, you gotta understand the team sport. Like, some people ain't gonna pull their weight. That's life. I mean, in the workplace, we feel like that about somebody that works with us right now. That nigga don't do shit. But I mean, still got to work with them. Like, sure. It's a life lesson. Yeah, it's a life lesson. But I mean, yeah, I knew what she was saying. I was like, I get it. Like, you gonna she gonna still be cool with them tomorrow, but like today, she ain't want to talk to them. Like Kira's so sweet and bounced back. Like, she was like, it's okay, we did great. And I'm just like, oh my God, you're so much like your mom. You're so much like your mom. Like, just
that's what
like,
I was thinking.
No, because Winter's super competitive, but she's also like super positive about stuff. Like, she be competitive, but you know, then she'll cheat. But like when the game's over, like she's still positive. Like, I don't feel like it ruins her life. Like, when I was a kid, when I lost, I wasn't friends with nobody for at least 8 to 10 hours. Like, don't talk to me. Especially if you were somebody on the team that I felt like competitively cost us. Like, nah, bro, don't talk to me, oh bum ass. Matter of fact, you don't got time to be talking to me. You should be getting better at what you do.
Wait, that sounded so Jordan-esque.
See, here's the thing. I didn't say it out loud, AG. I didn't make a documentary promoting this. Like, these were internal monologue. This wasn't outward.
You never said that to a teammate? Are you serious?
No, outwardly, like inwardly, I always blame myself. Inwardly, I would be upset and I would look around and I could be honest with myself internally. Outwardly, I was always like, losing is my fault. Like, I should know. Like on the basketball court, I wasn't a superstar, but I'd be like, I should know that nigga can't shoot. So when I passed him the ball, I knew what the fuck I was getting. Now, outwardly, I would never play that. Like, I had a lot of LeBron in me in the way I played. Like, I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna do all the right things, even if it ain't the right thing. Like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna pass it Delonte West, even though that's Delonte West.
I have not heard that name in so long.
Because he's open. You know what I'm saying? He's open. That's the right basketball play. Because I didn't have enough Kobe in me to be like, nigga, ain't nobody come to see Delonte. They came to see you.
I mean, he ain't lying.
He's
I
not.
mean, because, you know, hey, take the shot.
Ruben,
He passed me the ball. Nigga, what you passing me the ball for? You know I can't shoot. Like, what are we doing?
I do it. Ruben, you saw me. You've seen me on a bad basketball team. Was I ever demonstrative or complain to anybody? No, it's not what I do. In my head, I would just go home and think, I gotta do this shit myself.
Is that what you were thinking?
And look,
you were thinking, Jordan, you just never said it out loud.
I would tell him you need to do this shit yourself. Nah, man, we gotta get in for the team. No, I need you to shoot the damn ball.
It was ingrained in me, man. I was like, hey, it's a team game. I know I need them. Now, in all fairness, Ruben, when shit had to get done.
I understand that. That's why I wanted you to get shit done.
When shit had to get done, I would. But that was mature, old competitive. Young competitive me was Cadence. Cadence just don't know how to express that she's upset with them competitively. So she just was mad. So she's just like, and I know what she's saying in her head. These bum ass motherfuckers. And then Kira was outwardly like me. Kira was like, man, I made a lot of turnovers and I passed the ball when I shouldn't have sometimes. I'm thinking to myself, I mean, all those things are true, but I need you to acknowledge that you was playing with some bums today. Like, it's okay. You play with a few bums today. It's all right. It's a life lesson. You got to realize that sometimes you got to carry some extra weight. Like, the responsibility of being good, you know, no good deed goes unpunished. So if you're talented, you've got to realize that people expect you to do more. I tell her that all the time. Like, look, if you're gonna be out here working and say you want to be the leader, you gotta understand that means when we lose, it's your fault. Whether it really is or not, it's just you gotta learn to deal with that. And maybe she's just better at doing that at an early age than I ever was. But I was a lot more like her younger sister, where I was just like, these motherfucking bum ass bitches. Like, they fucking sold me out. And she ain't mad at nobody for missing the shot. Cadence got eyes. So basically, she was just like, she didn't want to be in the game. She was scared. That person was shook. And I'm just like, yeah, because Cadence ain't got no fear in her. So, you know, when people are fearless, it's hard for them to respect people that operate under fear.
Truth, I get it.
Like, because Kira has a lot of anxiety herself. So I think she's a lot more understanding to the fact that these people have anxiety because she just got to the place where she's good because she sucked at first. So I think she sees a lot of herself in them. Mm-hmm. And Cadence is just like, I ain't never been bad at shit athletically. All right. So, like, I don't know.
Not wrong.
I don't know. I don't know why y'all bum ass motherfuckers just don't understand this. Like, I feel like if Cadence could just be honest, she would just be like, I don't understand why y'all just naturally suck. Because that's never been a problem for me.
Naturally suck.
Because ever since she's been able to move, she's been coordinated. She has a very great IQ for how all sports operate. Everybody always says, man, she's so smart on the court. So I'm like, look, it's basically like how a genius would talk to any of us. We'd be like, why don't you fucking get this? Why are you so fucking stupid? Sheldon. Like if Neil Tyson, yeah, exactly. Neil Tyson grads like Sheldon. Sheldon's be like, hey, why don't you understand quantum physics? Like, I was doing this shit at 8. So Cadence is looking at these people who are getting rattled by people yelling at them, and she's like, I play football with damn near grown ass men, and I'm not scared, and you're scared of this little white bitch yelling in your face.
Oh shit. Oh God.
But she's a good person, so she won't say any of this out loud. But I know it. When I look at her and I see chubby, fat, 11-year-old me looking at these athletic bums that I play with going, if my fat ass is out here making this shit happen, why can't your skinny ass get some shit done?
Oh God.
But yeah, so what's on my mind is, man, I love coaching girls basketball, man. It's awesome. It's awesome, man. And like to see everybody compliment the team, because we're the team that wasn't supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? We're in the semifinals. We're the team that wasn't supposed to make it. Our own organization didn't want us to move up because they were like, you're going to move up and it's going to be too much for your girls. And here we are in the semifinals. Like, so I'm proud of them. It was awesome. And it was actually awesome to see even the non-competitive ones or the competitive ones be angry at people for not being competitive. Because I'm just like, yeah, y'all wanted that shit. Like, you know, the sick person in me was like looking at some of the girls on our team that were crying after the game and then realizing that we had 3 of them that didn't look like they'd even played a game. And I was like, hey, that told me all I needed to know. We had a couple girls that was out here like living and dying on every possession. And we had a couple girls that was just like, well, we about to go eat afterwards. Like,
what's up? I'm trying to get that McFrosty today. Hilarious. Thank you.
Hey, girls and boys basketball is no different though. As I've realized it, we treat it differently, but the kids themselves are the same. Because our boys lost today, and I saw like 4 or 5 dudes that was just like, "Hey man, y'all about to get on the game later on." Niggas was cool. We had a couple people that's like, "Man, fuck y'all, we lost. What the fuck's wrong with y'all?" So it's good to know that there still are some competitive people out there. Because one day we're going to reach a point where we're not competitive anymore, and that is the death of all things. When we reach a point where we don't feel like there's a need to work hard to win at anything, that is the death of all things. Like, I'm not saying you should live and die about winning or losing, but the desire to want to do your best to achieve something, that's all competition is. And if we stop being competitive, then I don't want to live in a world that has only people that my daughter hated today in it. I just don't want to live in that world.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. I coach soccer in Chesapeake for us, I guess, spring season. And the rule was we had 4 quarters of soccer. Everybody had to sit at least 1 quarter. So the rule, so for my thing was, I was like, all right, guys, this is what it is. First, second, third, everybody go sit 1 quarter. And the fourth, we going out to win this shit. So if you get to play in the fourth, you get to play. If you don't, you don't. It's about how you practice and how you play. And we trying to win. Everybody's like, that's cool. And that's what we did. And, you know, we did all right. We were 5-0. They got smacked our last 2 games. They got happy. So it was a good time. Kids learned some shit. Yeah, man. I ain't got nothing on my mind. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
It's been a long day of sitting in your house not doing shit.
First of all, you're right. I did a whole bunch of that today.
Actually, I was just assuming. I didn't know that's what you actually did.
No, that's what I actually did. But yesterday I got up at like 5 a.m. to watch WWE. So, because they were Australia, and their night, it was 6 o'clock at night over there. It was 5 a.m. here, and it's kind of weird when it's dark outside at 5 a.m. and it's all bright and shit over there. So, but no, it was good. Everything's good. Hey man, sorry I lost.
It was an experience.
Cool.
We lost the game. We won the season.
That's what it's about. Well, not really, but okay. But yeah, well, thanks everybody for listening to the live show. 5 Minute Warning. We will be back here every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch us on YouTube and on Twitch Live, and then sometimes on my Facebook page. and the episode will be out later this week. 5minutewarning.com. Make sure you like and subscribe so you know when the podcast drops, because you never know when extra surprises get put in. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell somebody about us. Once again, thank you to Moby, thank you to AG, thank you to all who listen to us live and who will be listening to us on the podcast. Hey, another Sunday. Let's do it again next Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully the rest of my voice comes back off vacation and you'll get the feel of full Ruben instead of the pieces that you've been getting the last couple of weeks. But with that being said, thank y'all. We will talk to you next week. As always, peace, love, hair grease, soul, and deuces.
Email us at 5minutewarning19@gmail.com. And also leave comments on Facebook and Twitch. Search 5 Minute Warning. Contact us on Twitter at AG_FMW podcast, at Nugman25, at FMW 2019. Contact us on Instagram, Moby 5 Minute Warning, AG_5 Minute Warning, Nugman25. You can listen to the podcast at Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of